Let's talk about the game last night. Manchester United 2, Spurs 0. United were very good. Very, very good. Excellent, some might say. How were Spurs?
They were awful. I thought Spurs were awful. It's the third, if you like, big game against a big, a top 6 rival they've had this year. And even if not in scoreline, they've been battered in all three. And I know they nicked a point at Stamford Bridge. Milo Arsenal just killed them at the Emirates a couple of weeks ago. I was interested to see how they were going to set up, because they've been playing with a 2 in midfield for much of the season, and especially at the Emirates when they came to Arsenal, that always baffled me, because in that game of the intensity that we bring in that particular derby, playing 2 midfield, you're going to lose a game. They went 3 in midfield last night, and they still weren't very, very good. I thought, we'll get to United in a second, I'm sure, and I thought they were really good, but I thought Spurs helped them be good from the kickoff, from the get-go, just not being on it. Forget even tactics for a second. They didn't even look like there was an intensity in the early part of that first half anyway as well, which I think gave the United the initiative to really grab the game by the scruff of the neck and say, look, we need these points, we want to win this game, and they wanted to do that. So Spurs were awful. I think there were some players that, Basuma, I had him touted as my signing of the summer this year. He's not played much this season, granted, but when he has played, he's been really poor. Kane was every now and again linking up, trying to do a thing, spreading the ball pretty well, but ineffective. Son running down blind alleys. I thought Romero was pretty poor. And the subs, I think he brought on his first sub when they were 2-0 down on like 80 minutes, 79 minutes?
82, I think.
Was it 18 minutes?
82nd minute, yeah.
So, and it also had the feeling of, this game's gone. Let's now protect the players we've got. Let's get you off the pitch. And that, for me, felt a little bit defeated as well. So Spurs were awful, and I think they're going to have to be better if they're going to really push that top 4 spot.
Do they need to play better than this to get top 4 and win a trophy, Tottenham? Because they're 3rd in the Premier League at the moment, and they've won 7 of their opening, 10 games, is it?
Yeah.
11 games. You can't really complain if you're a Tottenham fan, can you?
Well, you've got, there's an argument there. Yes, they've won 7 or 8 of the 11, 10 games, but they've played Leicester, bottom of the league. They've played Nottingham Forest, who are 19th. They've played Wolves, who are 18th. They've played Everton, 15th. Southampton, West Ham, who they drew with. They've played the majority of their games have been bottom down. Mm-hmm. And then the one over the who's 10th and upwards, bar Brighton, who are 8th, they've lost.
And Brighton really should have got a list of points, their fans are saying, I'm sure.
And so should have Leicester. In the first half, when I watched Leicester, I thought Leicester were going to win this game. And when they came out the second half, they just disappeared. But against Man United, Fred looked like he was Luka Modric.
Yeah, he was
Spurs made him look like it was Luka Modric. He was running the show. And Kane was playing a defensive midfielder at times.
He was too deep.
If you're going to play that formation, if you're going to play that style of football and not get anything from the game, you might as well go out and attack and be more fluent and lose.
But Conte's never going to do that. What I find interesting as well is I heard our colleague Jamie O'Hara was on up after us a couple of days ago talking about the fact that he didn't think that Spurs get enough credit for what they're doing so far. And my response to hearing that clip on social media was, credit for what? Because one of my Spurs friends was like in agreement with Jamie O'Hara saying, yeah, we're not getting any credit. And I'm like,
they lost all to the big teams.
Well, and also in terms of, I think, coverage of what they're doing, I'm like, well, Arsenal are top of the league, they're going to get coverage. Liverpool were title contenders, they're struggling, that's going to get coverage. Chelsea had a manager that won the European Cup, sacked, that's going to get coverage. What are you doing?
Well, they're 3rd in the league. Tottenham, they haven't got out of second gear, and they're 3rd in the league. They've only lost 2 of their first 11 games, 7 wins, 2 draws.
But in terms of coverage of them and wanting them to be spoken about more, there are other teams that are doing more interesting things.
I can understand that argument.
A guy breaking records every week. Why would I speak about Spurs?
I can understand that argument, but I can also understand that they're probably sitting there saying we do deserve some credit for how we've started the season.
You're 3rd. Well done.
They're 3rd, yeah. But here's my point, without getting out of second gear. If Tottenham click, if they start playing well, they've already given themselves the basis, a decent enough start to go on and achieve what they wanted to achieve.
You just said not got out second gear. Is this their top gear? Is this for Conte as good as it gets? because I'm really keen to hear from Spurs fans, if this is it possible to win a title or a cup playing this football?
This is the only quote,
No.
and I'm sure you've all heard this quote today that is of huge interest for Spurs fans. Not a good game for us, I have to be honest, and first of all, especially with my players, this was not the first time for us, despite the table being good. But every time we play a high-level game, we struggle. We struggled against Chelsea because we drew after 92 minutes, but Chelsea dominated the game. With Arsenal, we lost, and today against United, we lost. For sure, when the level is high, we are going to struggle.
Right, so...
He wants players in January, doesn't he? I mean, he's starting already.
He's hinting there, isn't he?
You know, you're just planting them seeds, isn't it? But my argument is Arsenal are ahead of them. Manchester City are ahead of them. Chelsea, he's saying, are a better team. Liverpool are a better team.
Are they? Not right now.
What? What are you two? Are you two okay?
Not right now.
Not at the moment.
Right now, I'll say right now, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Just because they're sitting third, it doesn't mean they're a better team than Liverpool. Liverpool started very slow. Now they're in gear.
Who would you bank on to get a top 4 more so out of Spurs and Liverpool?
I would put everything I own on Liverpool. Then getting
Really?
a top 4 ahead of Spurs.
Because while I think Spurs are thinking the place out, I think they've got enough to get top 4. I don't think it wins you a title or gets you a cup, but I think they'll get top 4.
Kick-off with Hugh Wozencroft. Tuesday to Thursday night, 7 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.